on 4 with Stepstone Online Recruitment.
Welcome to GT on 4 for the 9th round of the Privilege Insurance British GT Championship, the series for 700 horsepower cars from a rich variety of car makers. Lister, Lotus, TVR Markov, Porsche and Chrysler. And in the GT class, 4 of those makes have won so far this year. But we're going to start the show by taking a quick look back at the last round at Croft with Martin Haven.
Comprehensive damage in a practice accident left Callum Lockie unable to defend his GT class lead. And then the Lotus of third-place man Chris Ellis speared off the track and into a cornfield during the race, leaving just 4 GT cars running. In GTO, Mike Jordan was 25 seconds down after the team misjudged a safety car period. He reeled in the Fuller and Fothergill Porsche to take the lead with just 3 to go. In GT, Richard Dean won in the Lister to help Dave Warnock's cause for the title. Warnock taking a 9-point lead over Callum Lockie, who'd led since round 3. And in GTO, Mark Sumter 56 points ahead now of his closest real rival.
So Croft brought a rare glitch for the appropriately named Paragon team, but a superb drive by Mike Jordan saved the day. It marked another success for one of Britain's busiest and best-known racing drivers.
Jordan raced in Eurocars from its inception, twice winning the title in the monster V8 machines before moving on to TVRs. He's been a consistent Tuscan front-runner despite the occasional mechanical problem.
Well, we've done TVRs for the last 2 years. My sponsors were keen. We'd been very successful in Eurocar series up until that, and my sponsors were keen to move into Tuscans last year, so we did that. Mark Sumter's been a customer of ours for some time with his Porsche Cup cars, and he was keen to move up to GTs this year, so we thought it was a good opportunity to try and make a bit of a name for ourselves in a different arena.
Fantastic as a teammate. I'd definitely rather have him in the car with me than race up against him.
I think as a team, as I say, we've got probably 4 GTO cars that we will be running. Ideally, Mark and I would like to step up to GTs, perhaps with a Lister. We're talking to Lawrence about doing a deal with a Lister.
And just one final question. 77, is there any significance to that?
77 I had on my very first race car a few years ago, which was a Morris Minor 1000, and I had number 77, and whenever I could, I've always said I had that. I've kept that all the way through.
So can Mike Jordan put the Porsche on pole again? The GTO cars have got the first 10 minutes of this session to themselves, and Martin Haven's got the details.
With the title within reach, the team seemed to ease off and only qualified 4th fastest. On pole was the similar car of Terry Reimer and Jeff Lister, just ahead of the Speed 6 TVR. Mike Wilds replaced John Cleland in the CSI Viper and in helping to present our TV coverage, but he took a little time to settle in.
In fact, I spun twice. The gearbox is really quite strange, and I'm just getting used to it. And I missed a gear and spun once. And the other one was a little bit eager on the power, and when that V10 8-litre comes in, suddenly I was backwards.
The Marcus Mantara was repaired, and Koroyzer helped his teammates title fight with 2nd fastest time.
Yeah, I'll be quite happy with the front row. Pole's always better.
Points leader Dave Warnock was on pole, but his partner remembered what happened last time out at Silverstone.
We didn't finish. We didn't finish because of slight problem with the car, but obviously we were leading with a couple of laps to go, so yeah, we're looking to make amends to that this weekend.
So the title rivals on the front row, ahead of the Lotus and the 2nd Marcus. The TVR and the Par Motorsport Viper up next, with Mike Wilds in 7th. In GTO, the TVR of Martin Short and Rob Barth and the 2nd Par Viper take on 4 GT3 Porsches.
60 minutes of frantic racing lie ahead, and as the last race here shows, it's not over till it's over. The Lister boys will be hoping that their car holds together, and the TVR team will be hoping that they can repeat their win from May. And in GTO, can anybody stop the mighty pairing of Jordan and Sumter? Let's find out with Martin Haven.
Conditions are ideal for a showdown. The title rivals side by side on the front row of the grid, and ex-Formula 1 driver Mike Wilds returns to top flight competition, struggling though with the gearbox in his Viper. That won't help him at the start. Martin Vipers sweeps past in the yellow NCK Marcus. Everybody seems to be under control going into Cox as we ride with the GTO pole sitter Rob Barth in the TVR Speed 6. There's the yellow markers of Martin Byford, and there is Mike Wilds chasing past the TVR. Well, Wilds now at the back of the GT field as Dave Warnock leads them into the island bends for the first time. Well, there's the Lotus in second, then the Marcus and TVR, and Callum Lockie is down to 5th place. He's had a dreadful start. The rest of the field streaming through. There is the Ultima, and there is Curtis Hales on the grass and bouncing over the rough ground in the Viper. Leaders at Abbey. Mike Wilds nearly loses it. Somebody smoking at the back. There's Mark Sumpter smoking in 77. That was brake smoke as he locked up at Abbey. And Curtis Hales, smoke pouring off the left of the Viper at the rear end. On board with Andy Purvis. There goes the TVR Speed 12. Ian McKellar and he have been battling for 3rd place, and Purvis offline again. Through goes Callum Lockie up to 4th, and Purvis goes from 3rd to 5th in 2 turns. There's the Rainbow Marcus. Well, Lockie on the outside front row must have had a dreadful getaway in 4th place, and he may hold on to that, but it looks as though Andy Purvis is going to try and line him up into Cox. Across the line they come, and Curtis Hales in desperate trouble. He must be going for the pits. He's got the indicators on. Let's hope everybody spots that. In he goes. Par Motorsport down now to 1 car. That is surely broken suspension, and there is their other car in the GT class. He's in 6th place, right behind Purvis. The Lotus of Ian Astley now looking to make a move down the inside of Dave Warnock. Just avoids contact. That could have been real trouble for the points leader. 1st, 2nd and 3rd, nose to tail with McKellar right there in the TVR. And there is the Par Motorsport crew leaping into action. They've got the tyre off. I think we'll see that is the end of their race as the Lotus goes through ahead of the Lister. Has the Lister got a problem, or did Dave Warnock just give him fighting room there when the Lotus made the move? Anyway, Lotus leads. Lister 2nd, TVR in 3rd place, and Callum Lockie starting to close now. Just 2 places between him and Warnock. Riding with Mark Sumpter in the GTO Porsche. Ahead of him is GTO pole sitter Terry Reimer, but Reimer's only 4th in class at the moment. He's dropped from 11th on the grid to 16th overall. He's had a dreadful start, and that means the TVR leads the GTO class. Mark Sumpter won't be worried. He only needs a few points from this race to become this year's 1st champion. With Andy Purvis now, the NCK Marcus with Callum Lockie right ahead. There are the 2 Marcuses chasing the TVR Speed 12. Last time round, Ian McKellar was threatening for 2nd place, but right now he loses out to Callum Lockie for 3rd and gets a tap from Purvis, who was trying to take 4th away. So Ian McKellar up 1 and down 1 during the course of the last lap. Lockie now up to 3rd and right on Warnock's tail as Purvis goes inside the TVR. He spins and the TVR spins as well. And the Viper has to come to an almost complete halt to thread its way through. Picks up 2 places there. Then the Porsche comes through as well, riding with Mike Wilds behind the TVR Speed 12. He dives down the inside. There's the Porsche right ahead. And there is the 2nd place battle. Callum Lockie is 3rd in the Rainbow Marcus. And that is the point-leading battle. Andy Purvis going through Luffield. And into the pits comes the TVR Speed 12. Now, Ian McKellar must feel he's got some damage. Riding with Mike Wilds, that's Mike Yules ahead in the Porsche GT2 car. Now accelerating out of Cox over the rise, staying to the right-hand side. Just a little feather of the throttle into Maggots. And we ride now with Yules as the Viper goes in ahead. Punctured right rear for the TVR Speed 12. Well, let's hope it was just the tyre and not any major damage. Bobby Verden-Rowe will take that over at mid-distance. He looks very disappointed. Let's have a look from the reverse angle then. Purvis goes down the inside. There's just about racing room, but the 2 make contact. Around they go, and through go the following cars. On board again with the BW Motorsport Porsche. Oh, my goodness. Oh, did he clip him? I think he might actually have run over his nose there. Here are the 2 PK Porsches. This is Marcus Fothergill passing Terry Reimer for 2nd place in GTO. Lap 9, and the battle continues between those 2 teammates. Look at that, no quarter given or asked. And now look at this, Callum Lockie right behind the Lotus. He's really pushing Chris Ellis. He's got past Dave Warnock in the Lister. This is for the lead now. Callum Lockie sits right behind. And now the PK Porsche battle continues. Terry Reimer gets back ahead of Marcus Fothergill. Well, Terry Reimer trying to fight back after that poor start on pole, don't forget, here at Silverstone in the GTO class. Now let's see if he can ease away from the 44 car. That's, of course, his teammates, so they should be pretty identical. I think Reimer is fired up, the ex-bike champion. On board now with Andy Purvis recovering from that spin. There's Martin Byford, his teammate ahead. Doesn't try anything at bridge. What a surprise. Now Priory and Brooklands, he may try and make a move as they get onto the straight. No, he's going down the inside at Brooklands. They're in the middle of the GTO Marcus field. The cars look similar, but very different under the skin. It allows the GT class cars to go much quicker, stop better and handle better. Now another Marcus, and this of course looks very different. This is Corroyser and Callum Lockie's car. Lockie at the wheel and still battling with the Lotus for the race lead. Just ahead another Lotus, that's the new Lotus Sport Elise car 51. He's battling with the Marcus of John Edwards and Tony Soper's Stratus replica. And here are the race leaders, just about to catch that battle for 24th place. Now, is it time for pit stops for Callum Lockie? Yes, he decides it is. Rather than get held up, so does Dave Warnock. They're going to hand over to their respective partners, and the Lotus continues to lead. Chris Ellis stays out. It's only just into the pit stop window, only 20 minutes into the race. He and Astley will probably change about halfway through. And Marcus stops. There goes the Lister. Corroyser now, probably the quickest man on the planet in a Marcus. He knows more about these cars than anyone else. He gets into the rainbow car. Jamie Campbell-Walter will get into the black machine. Can the men in black beat the Rainbow Warriors out of the pit lane? Superb stop they do. Mike Wiles out of the Viper. Yes, hello Mike. That means Dave Clark's in there. That is Jeff Lister leaving in the PK Porsche, second in GTO. And Amanda is with Mike.
I really enjoyed that. I just really tried to get in a rhythm and drive the car as smoothly as I can, which wasn't very smooth.
Mike, how was that?
It's okay. TVR and one of the Marcuses came together just out of the bridge. I just clipped the front of the Marcos with the left-hand rear of the car, and it didn't feel quite so good after that.
Next lap round, Tim Harvey takes over the Par Motorsport Viper that came in from second place.
So with the pit stops well underway, it's time to take a quick break. We'll be back in a couple of minutes in GT on 4. Welcome back to GT on 4 for the 9th round of the Privilege Insurance British GT Championship. So we'll go to join Martin for the rest of the race.
Thank you, Amanda. And as you rejoin us, Jamie Campbell-Walter leads in the Lister. The Lotus stopped last lap. Ian Astley came out just ahead of the Marcus and the Par Motorsport Viper. But he's on cold tyres, and Corroyser capitalises at the end of the lap. Straight down the inside at Priory. The Lister crosses the line. He'll be about 20 seconds ahead. Oh, and there's a black flag for Tim Harvey's Viper being shown. There is the Viper in 4th place chasing the Lotus. Well, that can't be a pit lane speeding offence because that's just a stop and go. Ah, now that's Martin Short. He's just taken over the GTO leading TVR Speed 6. And that is at Abbey. Oh dear, that sounds really dreadful. Looks like he may have spun on his own oil. In comes Harvey. He's being waved away immediately by the team.
What was that pit stop for? You've obviously just been in.
Yeah, we had a problem with the driver change sticker on the side. We have to remove in the pit stop. Unfortunately, in the heat of the moment, it didn't get taken off.
Oops, and oops for Corroyser as well. Locking up the right front as he gets down to Beckett's left rear puncture. He's got a puncture tyre and half a lap to get back to the pits without destroying the car. Now he'll try and do that as quickly but yet as slowly as he can. Try and get back into the race. This could be a major disaster though for Callum Lockie's championship fortunes. Well, this is the last lap at Abbey. Look, Corroyser recovering from a spin here and somebody else on the grass. Bits flying up in the air. I wonder if they touched. In he comes, the team ready to go. New tyre there on the apron. It'll take a while to get the old one off maybe. It'll be red hot, but it looks like the car is going to be pretty much undamaged. If anybody can make up lost ground in it, then that man would be Corroyser. Quick bit of tape to hold the bodywork on. The race leader about to put him a lap down though, and that could be very, very damaging indeed. Across the line goes the Lister Storm. And further back, Dave Clark in the white Viper holding off Tim Harvey's Viper, and this man, Tommy Erdos, the number 8 NCK Marcus, goes inside another car and gets another bang for its troubles. Let's hope he survives that. They've been together a long time, these three. Erdos goes inside at Bridge. Very battle-scarred, that left front corner, isn't it? And now, look at this, Tim Harvey's never-say-die approach. Back down the inside he goes. So Dave Clark still third. Harvey slides out of the corner in 4th. Erdos looks down the inside. And that mighty long trail of smoke as he locked the inside unladen wheel under braking, wheel to wheel they go. Around car field. Tim Harvey slides on the exit. Thomas Erdős cuts back to the inside. It'll be a drag race to the line. Dave Clark is well away from them. Thomas Erdős inside. Tim Harvey closest to the camera. And Erdős gets his nose back in front again. 1 lap to go. Well, not even that for the race leader. Campbell Walter out front, just lapping the TVR Speed 12. That had a stop-go penalty. And Jamie Campbell Walter will give Lister their 6th win of the season.
How was it out there? Because it looked like it was jolly easy for you.
I thought we'd give you a bit of an Audi type small finish with those BVR from TVR there. I'd like to say it's fantastic for everyone at Lister, the whole team, everyone involved, and Davey Boy still leading the championship.
And there's a second Lister victory. The GTO class win goes to Jeff Lister. His first of the season, and he celebrates with a massive cloud of smoke in front of the team. So Warnock and Campbell Walter win 49 seconds ahead of the Lotus, with Dave Clark and the new boy Mike Wilds in third. Callum Lockie salvaging points for 6th. And in GTO, a first win for Reimer and Lister ahead of Sumter and Jordan. The PK Porsche team celebrate.
Yeah, it was easy. I don't know why we haven't done it before. Now we've done it, we've got to just keep doing it for the rest of the year.
And you were saying, Terry, that this is in fact your first victory in a car. How does that feel?
Amazing, you know, especially doing it with my mate Jeff. No, it's great. It's fantastic.
Dave Warnock pulls out a further 10 points in his lead over Callum Lockie, but still 45 to play for, and the Lotus pair in a joint third. In GTO, Mark Sumter's second place guarantees him the title unless he falls out with his partner Mike Jordan, that is, and Jeff Lister's win takes him into third ahead of Fuller and Fothergill.
So Mark Sumter's wrapped up the GTO title, but there's still everything to play for in the GT. Time now to take a look back at the National Saloon race that was held earlier this afternoon, and Martin's got the details.
An all Peugeot front row. Dan Eaves on pole by 0.6 of a second. He's 20 points behind the man who sits alongside him. That's teammate Tony Räikkönen. Räikkönen's second in the series. Matt Kelly, the points leader by 13, will start in third place in the Nissan Primera. All to play for with 3 races after this yet to go. Eaves aiming for the pit wall from pole position. Let's see if he gets a good start. Away they go nicely. Riding with Simon Harrison, row 3 of the grid. The red car is Roger Mern. The black and white car ahead, incidentally, Matt Kelly chasing the Peugeots into the first turn. And it's Räikkönen in second place. It's Eaves who leads the field through Cox for the first time. Toby Massini inside Simon Harrison. There's Harrison's white Ford. And someone's on Massini's right-hand side as he chops to the inside now. Harrison will have to deal with that. Closes the door as they run down through Maggots into Beckett. Peugeot 1 and 2. Roger Mern up to third place. Matt Kelly trying to take it back in a big slide and a spin in the middle of the field. The white Honda of Brian Ward went first. Desmond Smale in the red car spun in sympathy. He's stuck in the gravel as Ward rejoins at the back. And riding now with Toby Massini once more. There is Gavin Piper in the Alpha, has got past him right on the heels of Roger Mern. Roger Mern's red Peugeot has been shuffled down the order. Kelly's third, Harrison fourth, Mern and Piper fifth and sixth as we ride with the youngster. Gavin Piper launches down the inside, just waiting for the sound to contact. They don't come. Roger Mern avoided him. Gavin Piper using all the road at Priory and Brooklands, and there's his teammate Tom Ferrier cruising in. He must have a problem mechanically. Car looks as though it hasn't sustained any damage. Räikkönen in second to Eaves. Eaves out of shot already. There's Massini and Mern, the Italian and the Norwegian, battling behind last year's champion Simon Harrison. Eaves has gone. Räikkönen, Kelly, Harrison, Piper, then Mern and Massini. Mern taking that place back. Well, he was up 1 at the start. He's now dropped 3, Roger Mern, from the grid. And Toby Massini not having the best of races here at Silverstone. Replay with Simon Harrison of the first lap. There goes Matt Kelly back down inside the fast starting Roger Mern. Mern on the gravel in the island bends. Harrison goes round the outside. Gavin Piper cruising as well, looking down inside the car. That'll be electrical or a gearbox problem. One or the other seems to be bringing him up short. So Danny Eaves leading comfortably now and easing away from Tony Räikkönen, trying to address some of that points damage that was done in the last few races. Räikkönen in second place. Points leader Matt Kelly third. Reigning champion Harrison fourth. Roger Mern in fifth place. Now back on an even keel. He's got his rhythm back in the little red Peugeot. He's shaken off the Honda of Toby Massini. He's closing on the Ford of Simon Harrison. Ian Curley in the pits and Amanda's with Gavin Piper.
Yeah, it was going great. Unfortunately, we didn't have much brakes on the car, and every corner I came to, the pair was going to the floor, and every corner was a struggle just to get around the corner.
told you it was gearbox or electrical. Well, this is what he means. Here we are, coming into bridge. Can't slow it down, all over the gravel. Dear, oh dear. Well, he rejoins the track just ahead of another couple of cars, and he must have been as worried as they were. Rejoining the action, Räikkönen second, Kelly third, and Mern makes his move on Harrison for fourth. Inside as they go through the island curves, and they go around the outside. Simon Harrison had two wheels in the dirt that time, just like Mern did when he passed him earlier on. That means very little traction indeed, and no matter how hard you press the throttle, the car with four wheels on the tarmac goes quicker. Phil Andrews here on the pit straight, pulling off. I'm not quite sure what's wrong with that. He's parking well out of the way. We'll send Amanda to find out, shall we? And here's his teammate, Rick Kramer, under threat from Brian Ward, recovering from that first lap high-speed spin. Ward, the Irish driver, trying to find a way past. Rick Kramer's staying in the middle of the road, trying to make sure he can't get by. Now Brian Ward chops to the inside. He's going deep into Copse, but he's got the place. Dan Eves comfortably leading this race and hoping to close up in the points on Tony Räikkönen. Matt Kelly in third, almost out of sight now. The Peugeots are starting to get quicker and quicker as they go through the season. Well, to find out what happened earlier to Phil Andrews, let's catch up with Amanda.
I was just accelerating out of Brooklands and just felt something go, but the drive was still there and I couldn't quite work out what that was. Then just lost all drive coming down the pit straight.
Looks as though it's not going to be a good day for the team. That's a black and white flag for Rick Kramer, Phil Andrews' teammate. It means we're watching your driving and we're not particularly impressed with it. Now, what sort of problem has he got, I wonder? He's got chronic understeer there as he goes into the island curves. Now, is he running out of brakes or has he got some other suspension problem? In comes Kermit in the Proton Coupe. Looks like he's had enough of that, retiring right before the end. But here's Danny Eves now cruising through the complex on his way to a comfortable and well-deserved victory. 0.6 of a second quicker in qualifying. Car still sounds okay, but he's slowing right down to allow second place in the points Tony Räikkönen to take the checkered flag and a maximum score. Well, I think we know what that is all about. But this is a genuine battle for fourth place. Mern just pipping Harrison.
We really tried hard today to try and make the championship sort of still within our reach. So, yeah, very pleased with the result.
So it's second for Dan Eves, a lonely third for Matt Kelly. Roger Mern fourth by 0.06 of a second, but Tony Räikkönen takes his fourth win.
A hard battle because I was far off, but I think I missed a gear or something. Don't know.
He's very fortunate to have a team like me, I suppose. No, I'm very, very pleased for him to take the win, and I'm sure it puts him back up there in the championship a bit more.
Yeah. Oh, right. Okay.
Is that not what you saw?
I didn't see anything.
Matt Kelly not fooled by that then. Still leading though from Tony Räikkönen by 8 points. Toby Massini in third. Dan Eves moves up to fourth place despite handing over that victory. And after the prize presentations, more entertainment. The Blues Brothers Experience and Bootleg Beatles playing to the crowd.
So congratulations to Tony Räikkönen for a win that brings him closer to Matt Kelly in the championship. Now, Mike, end of a GT weekend. How did you get on the Viper?
I had a great weekend. Driving the Viper for the first time was brilliant. I've had an absolute ball, and I really want to do it again.
Thanks, Mike. Well, the Power Tour package is next appearing at Snetterton, and you can see all the action from there in GT on 4.
Showcasing new talent for the future on 4 next with Formula 3 and a return to Silverstone.